So, relatively major progress here today. Actually, go ahead and put this up on the other screen. This is latest build here of Voraldo. There's no official release or build or anything like that, but it's the general notion is that I'm gonna start off with some color in the space. I'm gonna put it at 1 alpha, right, 1 unit of alpha. That's 1 out of 255, so it maps to, in the shader, something like 0.0 something. Whatever 1 over 256 or 1 over 255 is. I'm not 100% sure how that is handled, but basically, if I go in here and I draw a much smaller sphere, like towards the center of this thing here with higher alpha, different color, maybe I'll have it like that. So it's in there. Well, now I can do this in the light menu. I can tell it, all right, clear the lighting buffer with all zeros, which basically means every color value is going to be multiplied by a 0 value, and I can set that in gradations, and it can be totally blown out too. But basically, yeah, so you start with some low value, and you pick some directional, these are Euler angles, directional sort of notion of where you want that light to come from. Then you draw it, and you get shadows. So, kind of cool. The one thing that I found works very well, sorry, that's the wrong one, is if you blur a small amount first, you can get better results. Better, in quotes, maybe it's let's go ahead and zero it out and then draw it over top. So it's starting with 0 values. So, it's, and actually, this is kind of interesting. If you do like this, different angle, let's say more intense light, you can have like multiple lights. It's overlaid over top of one another, basically. And this is at the point of pretty much blown out. And that, my meaning there just being that it's kind of saturated. But yeah, there's some interesting interaction with the lighting and the blurring. And the lighting is only updated when you're specifically in the lighting menu. So, like if I go in here and draw a grid over things, that will all be lit in the parts of the buffer that were lit, and it will be in shadow in the parts of the buffer that were in shadow. So if I just draw that in black, actually, yeah, that's right. If it's drawn in black, you don't get any of the color scaling because you're multiplying 0 values. I need to think about ways to maybe fix that. But if you're drawing in black, you don't actually get any scaling because you're multiplying 0 times some value. And right, so the lighting buffer can have any value, but you're multiplying it by 0, so it's like it's not getting anywhere. Right, so if you look at it from the bottom, you can see this. My next step is to do another compute shader that mashes this color value together. Basically, this multiplication is being done in the display shader. So by mash, I kind of mean go through for every RGB value you have and multiply in place by that lighting value in order to just basically bring it down to just the 1 RGB buffer that's relevant, right? And then you can clear the lighting buffer because it'll be, well, so I think I'll probably build that into the end of that function. Just have another thing that's mash, and I'm not really sure what else to call that operation other than like combine or something like. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how this is it's coming together. It works generally across all the voxels. So if I draw other shapes, and then I recompute the lighting. Now this is going to be interesting because it's also going to incorporate the grid. Clear out that lighting, do that static lighting. And I think I'm actually going to blur 3, so 1. And then reveal. Yeah. I find that works better if you do that blur and then you do the static lighting, because then it's, I don't know. There's some coolness to this. I'm pretty into it.